See, now we're live. So welcome to the show, everyone. My name is Mark. I am your host, and today on the show, I've got a friend in recovery, and his name is Julian. Welcome, Julian.
Hey, everybody.
And I brought you a gift.
What you got?
As you call it, the band of drunks.
Yeah,
they're the recovery band, but today they're the band of drunks. Kick it, boys.
All right.
Yeah, right.
That funk.
And studio. All right, now that the cheesy intro is done, Julian, how you doing today?
I'm good, man.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful day out here. Really is. I was coming in, I was like, wow.
Yeah, we're busy. I know we're at Bayfront Park. Behind us is like check out all those sailboats, right? Like all those old school boats. Like kids playing in the background. We got the splash pad here, the art show over there.
There's a lot happening.
It is it's busy down here.
It's cool though. We're just right in the middle of it, you know?
Yeah, right in the middle of God's creation, right?
Yeah, it's all just happening. It's beautiful.
So how long have you been in recovery?
Oh, Lord. Well,
you could do total time, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's do that. So back when I was 17, I had started drinking recreationally, on the weekends after work. I worked full time, and I lived with grandma, so
okay,
it was a lot easier to sneak things by her. But one day, she found an empty bottle of vodka behind the bed.
Okay.
And that was when she said that you're an alcoholic and you need to start going to meetings. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Wait, she told you that?
That's what she told me. Because she came from a family of drunks. They adopted her back in, I don't know, the early 60s.
Uh-huh. So
she knew right away what was coming for me, and I had no clue.
So she found this bottle. Was it a big bottle?
I think it was a fifth or a pint, maybe.
Yeah.
It was a smaller bottle, but she knew right away. She sees vodka. She says, it's a wrap for this guy.
Yeah, was it good vodka or was it cheap shit?
It was Ciroc.
Ciroc, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't,
Yeah.
It wasn't too cheap.
All right. I thought maybe the quality level gave it away.
Naturally, right?
Yes.
So after that, she introduced me. It turns out my bus driver was, how do you say, a long timer in a CR meeting, Celebrate Recovery meeting at the church that she went to.
Okay.
I didn't know that. But so I saw him every day. It was kind of a natural fit, and he just talked to me when he was driving the bus,
Yeah.
Drinking's bad. He says, don't drink. He's one of them guys.
Oh, just don't pick up.
Just don't drink and don't drug. But he was awesome. He was a good guy. His name was Bill.
All right.
Bill the bus driver.
Bill the bus driver, all right.
Yeah. Bill tried, but he just wasn't ready. So I carried on through that. I moved forward. I became an adult. And I didn't have any consequences. Me and consequences have a funny relationship because I can go a few years without them. But then when they hit, it's like it all compounded over that time to where they all fall right at once.
All right.
And it's not a lie. They get worse every time.
So how old are you now?
29.
You're 29?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And so when did the consequences start happening for you?
Well, so when I was 19, 10 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, so I became an adult. I got a job at a car dealership full time, started making decent money.
Yeah.
And I had friends that were in the sales, a whole group of people there. And yeah, they'd get you a case of beer, whatever, you'd help them work on their car, you go hang out, whatever. I didn't know that culturally they kind of went together, car people and drinking. Because I just was right in the middle of that herd, so to speak.
Yeah.
So that carried on for a little while, and then I got my first DUI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was in Pennsylvania. I wrapped a Jeep around a tree.
Oh.
Yeah, it was my first car I bought, saved up $1,000 down or whatever it was. And
all right.
Went on for a few months and crashed it. So that was the first consequence, and I was like, oh, no big deal. It happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody felt bad. And 2 months later...
You did it again?
I didn't crash this time. I just fell asleep in front of the house, but
Oh, so what did you do? Wake up with like cops knocking on the window?
Knocking on the window.
Oh.
Yeah, I was such a genius. I thought that if I dumped the clutch and stalled out the engine, he couldn't get me because the engine wasn't running. That's alcoholic thinking at its finest.
It is alcoholic thinking.
Yeah.
He can't get me for this. I heard it's got to be like the keys in the car for you to get to do it. It's like something like that. It's
Actual physical control is how it's defined.
Oh, really?
In Pennsylvania and Florida. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. So if you can make it work, that's enough.
Okay.
Fun fact. I've only learned this the hard way a few times. But anyway, so moving forward, I lost my license. I lost that job. Obviously, they couldn't keep me after getting a second one. Worked with the first one, second one, they're like, you gotta go. You got a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So then, I was referred to rehab. I did a partial hospitalization.
Yeah.
It was great. It's like the bounce back is everything's getting better. It's by my attorney. He suggested that I go to rehab, and it was part of the agreement deal.
Okay. Did you want to go to rehab?
Not at first. I never wanted to go to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
But I did. I did it. I did well in it. I didn't cheat. I didn't try to connive because I thought there was that small thought. I was like, maybe they're right.
Yeah.
My attorney, you know how they talk.
Yeah.
Just the way they word things sometimes. It seemed to make a little bit of sense.
Yeah, it does. When I got my DUI, he's like, we were sitting in front of the attorney, and he's like, oh, well, it's a good thing you weren't drunk because I'm gonna pull the tape then, and we can prove that you weren't. And it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, right. Please don't have that tape.
Yeah, so floating out there somewhere in Manatee County lore is out there in cyberspace is my DUI tape.
Oh, boy.
And yeah, and it's like, so he had a way with words, like got me to realize, like, man, I can't lie my way out of this one.
Yeah. It's amazing how much we lie to ourselves.
Yeah, it is. So you're in rehab. You're doing everything you're supposed to do.
Doing good.
Yeah.
I get through it. I have a support system, going to meetings. This is when it gets a little murky for me. I think this might be that threshold they speak of.
Okay.
I didn't really rehearse any of this, so I'm just kind of going with it.
Oh, there's no rehearsal.
Well, it's like I don't want to get what do they say, choked up. Like I don't know what to say, where to go.
Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah,
it's all good. It's a beautiful day at the park.
It is a beautiful day.
We're talking about alcoholism,
but I think this is when I crossed that threshold.
Yeah, okay.
Somewhere in here with, I moved not far away, but a little different part of town. I finally had to get out of the house because everybody had enough of my shit. So I got this little apartment in Export, PA. If you want to Google it, it's a town of about 5,000 people. It's a tiny little coal mining town or something. And it was great because I live pretty much upstairs from a bar.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, well, I got banned from that bar in about a week, so I ran out of places real fast. But I, various restaurants, and I got a job at AT&T.
Okay.
I tried to white knuckle that one. So I was like, I always wanted to work there for some reason.
Yeah.
Free phone, I don't know.
Free
phone or something. But I made that work. And I just couldn't hold it together.
Was AT&T next to the bar?
No, AT&T was actually about 2 miles.
Okay.
But I had to walk.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we didn't have like electric scooters and bikes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it was either you had a car or you had the Leather Shoe Express.
That thing's badass, that electric scooter.
It's a good time, man.
Does it go fast?
Yeah, it's fast.
Yeah.
Oh, some ass. Oh, man. So, AT&T, they let me go. Oh, God. The resume. I got to chop it up a little bit, but
however you want to do it, brother.
So the resume, yeah. AT&T didn't want me. I ended up leaving that apartment. I was living in my aunt's basement because I just couldn't put 3 days together.
Yeah.
And just drinking all the time. She was like, I'm gonna help you get your life together. And she tried her best. God bless her for trying.
What kind of stuff was she trying?
She just making sure I didn't get too drunk, the supervised drinking, so to speak. Because she didn't know how to just not.
Is she a normie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
Ish.
Yeah, she drinks. She gets funny, She gets funny and red. A little different than me. I get rageaholics. That whole thing. Well, I don't really get any type of way. It's just any way I am is exaggerated 1,000 times. If I'm sad, I'm crying, ready to jump off the bridge. If I'm mad, somebody's gonna die. You know, and if I'm happy, well, it's a good time. And that's part of it. Is because, you know, it wasn't always bad. I was thinking about that on the way here. It wasn't always bad times. That's probably why the consequences are stretched out. But I also internalize a lot of things, and they're buried until they surface, and then they're amplified 1,000 times from alcohol, is when some serious shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
You know, for me, and everybody's different.
So where did you go from like the aunt's basement then? She was trying to help you.
Yeah.
And,
She did. I got a job at Target selling cell phones.
okay.
Again. But yeah, I was working at Target. I was moderately drinking because I didn't want to upset her. If I was drunk enough for her to notice I drank too much.
Okay.
So that carried on, and she was like, "It's probably good if you don't live here anymore." And I was like, "At your house?" She's like, "No, Western PA."
Okay.
Because I've done a lot of damage. You know, by now I've, you know, been in fights, been in jail. Just never caught any major charges or anything out of it. But just always like disorderly or not. Because I was still 19 when this started, so I got like 5 or 6 underages, and those are always with a disorderly conduct. So I got, you know.
Yeah.
Luckily, those go away. So I had been to Savannah, Georgia a few years back when I was 19. Before I wrecked the Jeep, we went down there for my aunt and uncle's wedding. And I just liked the town. It was a good cool little beach town, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved to Savannah.
Okay.
That was kind of a thought out thing. And I was like, well, give it a shot, right? Somewhere else, fresh start, the geographical cure.
Oh, yeah, the geographics.
Yeah, I figured it would work.
Oh, did it work?
No, it didn't work.
Can I read you something more about alcoholism?
Sure.
Can we hit it? The way that you've been hitting that, it made me think of this page, and it's let's see here. Here are some of the methods we have tried. It's on page 31. Drinking beer only. Limiting the number of drinks, never drinking alone, never drinking in the morning, drinking only at home, never having in the house, never drinking during business hours, drinking only at parties, switching from scotch to brandy, drinking only natural wines, agreeing to resign if ever drunk on the job, taking a trip, not taking a trip, swearing off forever with and without a solemn oath. I like that one. Taking more physical exercise, reading inspirational books, going to health farm sanitariums, accepting voluntary commitment to asylums. We could increase the list ad infinitum.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you spot on.
So you tried geographics.
All of those.
All those.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
In one way or the other, you know. I didn't try drinking at night. I would just drink in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm being funny.
Just
I only drink in the morning until, you know, 6 o'clock rolled around. Then it was the next day in my mind. Some of the shit I used to tell myself is just outrageous.
You already passed out and slept.
Yeah. If you could get a midday nap in, it's like the next cycle, next day in my mind anyways, metabolism or whatever.
Okay, so you play geographics.
Played geographics. Geographics in Savannah did not work very long. 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
You went down there with your aunt and uncle?
No, I was there myself.
Oh, okay.
I had a job at a little restaurant, you know, rented a room. Wasn't feeling it. But instead of changing the things I didn't like about my life, what did I do? I moved again.
Okay.
And I didn't want to go back to Pittsburgh. So, you know, I just kind of, I met a friend there. Some older guy, he liked me. He's like, you remind me of my son. His name is Shane. He lives in Cincinnati.
All right.
He was down there working on some hotel. He's a nice guy. And, you know, people just have reasons and seasons in your life.
Yeah.
He was like, this ain't working for you, kid. I'm like, well, what do I do? He's like, well, you can go home. I'm like, He's like, well, you can go down to Florida, check out this little town, Sarasota. I'm like, oh, well, sounds better than home.
You'd never been here before?
No. So I had broken my phone. Something happened to it. It was out of commission. So I said, let me borrow your phone. I bought a bus ticket, July 6, 2017.
Okay.
And I got dropped off at Beneva and Cattleman out there at the SCAT station.
Not knowing anybody or anything.
No. The only thing I did do was I got a room in a living sober house.
Okay.
It was off of Braden near the airport.
Okay.
Yeah. I came and I was like, all right, fresh start. You know, the guy that ran the house was like, you know, you got a piss test and can't drink, rules, structure.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to try it. I'm actually going to try it on my own. You know,
All right.
not being sentenced to it. And
Yeah.
you know, something's got to change. And didn't change.
It didn't change. How long did it last at the sober house the first time?
Well, so I moved in there. I got a job across the trail at one of the boat dealerships, detailing boats.
Okay.
Probably a month and a half later, we had Irma come through.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody was kind of a free for all because the house guy was worried about the house and kind of trusted us to do the right thing, and nobody did. And I was just along for the ride. So we did Irma, tore the town up. Still no consequences. You know, I got those 2 DUIs back when and some tickets, but God, I hate this. The wreckage of our past, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate bringing it up. Wish it would just go away. We'll get to the solution here shortly, though.
hey, whatever. You know, you can't have a solution without a problem first.
True.
Yeah.
So we're getting close. We did Irma. I went back out. You know, they're all full of shit. I know what I'm doing. I lived outdoors for 6 months or so. Got pretty good at it. It's amazing what you can figure out when you're in a bind.
Yeah, it's
Storage unit, backpack, bicycle, gym membership, the whole 9.
Wow. Yeah.
Did that, and then I just got tired of being tired. So I rented a room down here. I found one on like Craigslist or something. $600 a month.
All right. Wow, that's cheap for Sarasota.
This is back in 2018.
Yeah.
A little cheaper. I got a job at Sarasota Ford. This is where the metal meets the meat, as my buddy likes to say.
All right.
So I'm working at Ford. I'm renting a room. Everything's okay. It's probably 6 months down the line. You know, I managed. Functional alcoholic, I guess. Wasn't drinking too much. And I'd get a 6-pack on the weekends and didn't really have a lot of money. So I got paid on Fridays. I had a side job in Gulfgate in those 2 strips.
Oh, yeah.
It's in a place called Cannons. It's not there anymore.
All right.
But so I'd work there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one or the other. So I'd be in that area during the weekends. So I go out naturally. You know, just on the weekends.
Yeah.
Another one of those cures. Or what are they called?
What,
Things you just read.
when I was, more about alcoholism?
Yeah.
Yeah, so page 31, go back to here. Hold on. There. Sanitariums?
Sanitariums and
Yeah.
all of it.
So you started going into institutions and...
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. So, I'm doing the weekend restaurant. It's still manageable. Still haven't pissed too many people off, you know. I'm still pretty new in town, so they can kind of chalk it up to he just got too drunk. He's young.
Yeah.
Makes mistakes. But then I figured out if you mix benzodiazepines with alcohol, it gets really next level. So that started happening, and that's when all hell broke loose. Or what do you call it? I call it crossfading.
Okay.
Yeah, so got crossfaded, get a couple Marchman acts, and then dude didn't want me at the apartment anymore, my roommate. And so I'm back out on my ass. Here we are, square one, you know. Boss at Ford I get the call in the office, and he's like, "You're an alcoholic. I think you should go next door to the Gratitude Club and maybe sit in a meeting and think." He's like, "Then come back and I'll tell you if you're fired or not." I was like, I did, and I come back and I'm like, I'm probably gonna quit and try. to just be sober. And was like, it's okay, I was gonna fire you anyways. So that's the way that went.
That's the way. So he's like, I was gonna fire you anyway.
Yeah, your ass is grass.
So was that your first meeting?
That was my first meeting here in Sarasota. I probably went to one or two from like the halfway house where everybody went.
Yeah.
But that was the first one I actually had to be willing to go to.
Did you introduce yourself at that meeting? Or did you just listen?
Probably just listened.
Mm-hmm. The G Club's amazing, isn't it? It was amazing.
It was amazing. I haven't really been to it lately. I kind of switched up the routine, different meetings.
Yeah.
So I'm almost to the solution here. I'm going to try to summarize it a little faster.
Whatever you want to do, brother. This is your story, right? Like, our journeys are so personal. You know, that journey to surrender, that journey to, to getting through life.
Yeah, the surrendering part's something I didn't want to do. I honestly thought that it was just circumstantial, biological, something other than I have to, concede to my innermost self. It's something external.
Yeah.
My dad didn't hug me enough, or I never made enough money, or, mom didn't call me every day of the week. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was willing to accept it was anything external. It was because it's sunny today.
Oh, yeah. The sun is shining extra bright. That must mean you get extra drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. It's raining, same thing. It's a cloudy, sad day.
So he fires you.
He fires me. I thought I was never going to find another job. And I went back. First place I go is where I know to go. That carries on. Then here comes the consequences. I start, getting more Marchman acts. I probably been Marchman act about a dozen times or so. In the big picture, it's a good thing. It probably saved me from myself to some degree,
Mm-hmm.
But I carried on like this. There's a cycle here. I'm starting to actually, now I'm talking about it, I notice that. I do okay, and then I drink, and get fired, and you die on the toilet. But this last time, I started a business. Everything was going okay. I had a little time, about 6 months or something. And then things were going too well for me, so I decided that I don't need this anymore because it fixed all my problems.
Oh, yeah, big life, little program.
Right. Big life, little program. So one night, I had the rules. Don't drink after dark, or don't drive after dark.
Isn't it funny how those rules just go out that window?
Right. So I'm driving at about midnight on Halloween of 2022. And this guy in front of me just wasn't going fast enough for my liking. So I went to pass him. I just scraped the car, and that was enough to get a police call and field test and arrest. And they didn't have video evidence of that one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another DUI.
Another DUI.
Wow.
Yeah, and one of the Marchman acts, I kicked one of the security guards.
Yeah.
So they came at me with a felony.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had both of those going on. So when they took me in for that DUI in 2022, there was another one too. I fell off a moped in a parking lot at 7-Eleven on the Siesta Key, and they called the sheriff, and I got a DUI for that. So I've had a few. But yeah, so going out to the Key that night that I got picked up in 2022, I was at that jumping off point.
All right.
I've had enough. I couldn't stop, but I had enough. God, and then I'm praying. I'm like, God, please help me. Careful what you wish for, but God, please help me nip this in the bud. Like, I can't live like this anymore. If you can't help me, I'm gonna help it, and I'm gonna go jump or whatever.
So an honest, like, from the bottom of your heart prayer.
Must have been honest, because he believed it.
So what happened?
I kissed that car, and I didn't get hurt, but it was enough to get a reaction. And the sheriffs, you know, they threw me in the car. I'm sure they've been called worse.
Mm-hmm.
They take me down to jail, and I sober up. And they got me in the turtle suit. They had me on suicide watch because of the shit I was saying, which isn't their fault. It's my fault because I said it, right? I look at myself in the mirror, and that scratched up thing they call a mirror, that piece of metal with, you know, 3 of the dudes wearing a turtle suit. And I remember this clear as day to right now. Is this what an alcoholic looks like? And I just heard it from the inside, like, yes, this is what an alcoholic looks like. This is the shit that happens to alcoholics. They get arrested for DUIs. You know, they go through everything else you've gone through. I was like, gotta stop.
Yeah.
You know, like, I kind of broke down. I didn't want to, like, have 4 other grown men watch me cry, but internally I was definitely like, what?
Just breaking down, right?
Yeah. And I was like, what am I going to do? Like, stick my head in the toilet and just hold it down there. But, you know, there was also that thing of relief. It was kind of like you just did the first step.
Yeah.
In a sense. And I was like, wait a minute. Because all that, the boss sending me over to the G Club and all that, kind of, that was all still in my head somewhere. And it was like, wait a minute. I know a lot of people that know how to fix this. A lot of people.
So you thought about the rooms.
I was like, well, yeah, because it's like, fuck, I'm doomed. I'm doomed. I really am an alcoholic. I was like, what do we fucking do about this?
Yeah.
I'm going to go on to the bitter ends and be in here or, you know, be legless or some shit's going to happen. The weirdest shit happens to alcoholics, man.
So that meeting stuck in your head somewhere in there.
I went in and out.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I wasn't sure. I was not sure, that's all. Because I go in and then I go out. I go in and out. I think they're tied.
Yeah. The denial's like just up there, like, really, this is gonna fix me?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I remember feeling that feeling. Like, really, these people got some serious issues. I haven't gone that far. Like,
right.
Yeah, that.
But then I probably went further than some of them, but it's like that own delusion. It's like, well, it was me, so it wasn't as bad as him doing it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like not apples to apples.
Yeah.
It's okay when I do it, but if they do it, it's fucked up. It's wrong. That's just sick.
But that's the alcoholic thinking.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild. Like, yeah, you hear about it all the time in meetings, like that same kind of scenario. Like, that's how I know.
What do you mean?
That I'm like, well, you know, the denial running through, like, oh, it's not, you know, that wasn't me, so it's good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
So what happened after that? After you were in the turtle suit?
Oh God. Well, I got out. Somebody posted on my girlfriend. She went through torture with me. She dealt with me a year drunk and a year and a half sober. So.
Oh wow, you got a year and a half?
Halloween of 2022, so like 15 months.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I never thought I'd see it.
Yeah.
For real. 90 days. Oh, I got the 90 days. Go cash this in at the bar. That's pretty much all they ever were.
I remember way back in my running days, I knew this girl that was trying to get sober. And she was sitting at the bar that I was DJing at. And I had known her because we'd partied together. And she was sitting at the bar with her 30-day chip. And she's like, I've been 30 days sober, but she's sitting at the bar. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
But 90 days is huge.
Oh, it's great. If you can get to it and I don't know, I white knuckle myself through it.
Okay.
Honestly, it is huge, but for me, it's just a day.
Okay, good.
Because I can't get in that trap because I'll hit the 90 days and I'll be like, oh, cured. You know, I made it to the other side, like 90 days. If I can do 90 days, I can do the rest of my life, and I can manage the rest of it. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
You know, for me, it's a daily reprieve.
Oh, all right.
And it's just the way it has to be.
Yeah.
And some shit crops up. We'll get to that here shortly. Things happen in life, and it fundamentally changes the way we deal with them.
So when did you start doing the steps?
Took a while. It took a while.
Same.
But the sense of relief I had in the jail that night, I don't even know what time it was,
Okay.
was pretty overwhelming, of the realization of the problem and the solution. Because I was sure I had this problem, but I was also sure I had the solution, which not a lot of people get to, realize.
Yeah.
And the consequences aren't fun.
No.
There's a lot of damage done in the past for sure, but getting through it, man.
I haven't met an alcoholic yet that hasn't had some wreckage of the past, either that they've had to clean up
True.
and are cleaning up still.
Very true, very true.
So what was your journey like to get a sponsor and to start doing work and to really look at yourself? What was that journey like for you?
Well, so I had a sponsor when I was drinking. I asked my buddy Kevin to sponsor me.
All right.
Yeah. And he was like, "You done yet?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not done yet." And I finally I actually left the jail and went straight to the G Club. I just sat there until there was a meeting because I just had to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he showed up, we talked. I tried to work with him. Things didn't really work out, but it's okay.
It is, yeah.
It's okay to get a different sponsor.
It is. Like, that's the cool thing, is like there's not just one sponsor out there. There is.
I think, having a friend first and then a sponsor second is not really ideal because they know too much about you.
Yeah.
Or it's the best thing. That's for it's the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
Whoever's picking the sponsor. But so go back to the G Club, get my white chip, just like I've done so many times before.
Okay.
I'm like, I got to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't really say that at first. I was like, I don't want to fucking do this at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is awful. Like, this is like the sentencing, so to speak. But, Kevin's like, it'll get better. It'll get better. And I'm like, you're so full of shit. How could it get any better? You just took all my fun away.
What do you mean it gets better?
Yeah. I did that for a few months, man. I was straight miserable. I introduced myself as Julian, the miserable motherfucker, for about first 3 months.
So not even an alcoholic, the miserable motherfucker.
Julian, the miserable motherfucking alcoholic.
All right.
And then about month 5 rolls around and my buddy John goes, "You stopped calling yourself a miserable motherfucker." And I was like, I did, didn't I? So there is growth there. There is growth. We're moving forward.
That's good.
But yeah, I did. So obviously I didn't have a job. I got a job painting.
Okay.
The key. So I had a job. That was good. And I was good. Work, meetings. Here's where it gets rough because I did have a court date set. It was actually March 30th of last year. So just over a month out from a year. So I worked and I'm going to meetings. I'm not doing any step work, but I'm just, getting there. What do they call it? Put your ass in the chair.
Yeah.
Getting the ass in the chair. Paying the bills, at least maintaining.
Mm-hmm.
And court rolls around, and I started working down the steps with Kevin, but court came around, and they sentenced me. They gave me a DUI court. I don't know if you know about DUI court, but it's not just probation, check in, pee in the cup randomly. It's like 6 counseling sessions a week, meetings, individuals, pee in the cup like 3 times a week. There's a lot. There's a whole laundry list of what you got to do.
I don't know about that because all I got was like probation, community service, loss of license for your head to get a BPO, the deal. But is that for like repeat offenders?
So there's DUI court and drug court. Mm-hmm. DUI court, they just sentence you to. It's basically punishment and treatment in one. That's the best way I can put it.
Yeah. And
DUI court's a little bit more of a diversionary deal.
All right.
Yeah, it's a shame that I know all this. Because I read the papers.
In a way, it's kind of good that you know all this now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Free legal advice. No, not legal advice.
So what happens around that court date? So you do all this, and
well, so you still have to do your mandatory minimum. which in my case was 15 days.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in jail, I had 5 months. I had a chip waiting for me. So I actually started to look forward to that. I'm like, I got month 5? Never had 5 months in my life. And that since I was 19 until I was 28.
Yeah.
Until I got this 5-month chip. I got 4 once. That was when rehab back in PA. So I got the 5 month chip, and jail has drugs in it, and they had drugs, and they were like, "Do you want them?" I'm like, "No, like I really want to stick to this program because even fresh, even new in it, things were better. I still had the job. I told the boss I had to go do a jail sentence, and he was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
because you're trying.
Yeah.
People will help you if you're trying."
Yeah. This is true.
So he helped me. He eventually fired me. Just I don't know. I don't know why. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Because there's always a rhyme and a reason, especially when you're sober and you're moving in the right direction. Things just tend to work out.
Yeah.
So I started the program. I did the 15 days. Felt longer than the couple months I had to do for the other thing, but
Yeah.
I came out and I was like, I'm gonna keep going. Just
It's beautiful. So you kept going.
kept going.
Yeah, awesome.
Kept going to meetings, kept working, changed jobs. Actually got it. So here's the kicker. I told you I got that felony charge back in 2020
Yeah.
from a Marchman Act for kicking a security guard. Guess what I do now?
What?
I'm a fucking security guard.
God's got jokes.
Yeah. I can't wait to get kicked. Probably right in the nuts.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, it's great because I stand out there and sometimes they hire off-duty cops.
Yeah.
So I stand there with the guys that arrested me. Hope they don't remember me. That's pretty much the way it plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't remember me. Like,
Yeah.
and they do.
So things have gotten better, and by the irony, by however this universe works, you're now a security guard.
Yeah.
That's. I'm gonna put you in my prayers that you don't get kicked.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. So time goes on.
Time goes on.
And how's your life been?
Not so great. As far as sobriety program, good. I got a sponsor. We're active. I meet them. We talk shop. We talk shit. I'm going through the paces. But, back in December, my stepfather died. He had, about a year before I got sober, he had got diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh, wow.
It's a nasty cancer. It's like instant stage 4. And this guy is tough as nails, man. They read him his last rites like 5 times.
Did he live here? Did he live here in Sarasota?
No, they live in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, okay.
Yeah. So he's fighting the fight. I get sober and I'm like, I can actually appreciate. And it kind of plays in too, because it's like this guy, I took for granted a lot of things that this guy just wants to see, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like another day, and here I am just pissing him away by drinking and just being a handful. But yeah, in December he passed away. I think it was the 20th. So it's never easy on a family when things like that happen. But I had to go home. I went to his funeral and his wake and everything else, and hugged all these people and heard I'm sorry about 5,000 times. And I didn't drink.
That's amazing.
And I got to be there for my mother, my sister, all them, my nieces, and I didn't drink.
To you, internally, inside, how did that feel to you to be able to be there for them and to be there as part of the family and be sober?
It's a mixed bag, because there's how I feel, how they feel, what they expect, and what they get. So walking away from it, coming back here, it felt good.
Mm-hmm.
It was something you can't put a price on.
Yeah.
You can't. Just getting the trust back. I guess it's come back to some degree because they wouldn't let me in their house before. Now it's like, oh, you can stay here. I'm going to go to the store. Okay, see ya.
That's beautiful.
There's the other part too. It's like, why couldn't I have done it sooner?
Yeah.
There's like guilt and shame. I think that's touched on in the book a little bit, but for better or worse, it's very good. Very good feeling.
Yeah, that's the one thing I've learned, but there's no time machine to be able to go back. Things went the way that they went. And I know I can't change it. Nobody can. It's just the way that it is. Look, there's some things in my life I'm still waiting for, Doc Brown from Back to the Future to come rolling with it. Mark, we gotta go back to 1985, but it's not gonna happen.
True.
It's whatever. You're here now.
Yeah, still here.
Yeah. So you went through that, and then what else has gone down in your life?
Well, house caught on fire about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I heard about that over social media. Saw that, and what happened, and how have you made it through that?
So something was in the trash can. So I had a side job. I was gonna go clean a Florida gas station down South Trail, down near Golf Gate. So I had to run up to Home Depot. I work overnight. That's security,
Yeah.
So I'm used to being up all night. But anyway, so I sleep weird hours. So I wanted to go get some cleaner, come back, take a nap, then go do the job, come home. We leave to go to Home Depot to get this cleaner, and something was in the trash, like a battery or some kind of chemical reaction or something like that. Nobody knows. And get a call about 45 minutes later, and they said the house is on fire. And I'm like, okay.
The fire department called you?
No, my neighbor called.
Oh, man.
She said, your house is burning. I said, she's probably just drunk. Some old Russian lady. She's awesome. We love her, but, it's hard to believe.
Yeah.
And she wasn't lying. So we dropped everything in the middle of Home Depot, ran out, flew back, because we were all the way up from Cortez. And we flew back to the house, and you see the smoke coming up, and I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And it was just kind of one of those, blank moments. It's like, what do you do? Cops are yelling at us, get back, get back. And I'm like, fuck you, I live here.
Yeah.
And then the animals, she has a couple cats, and we have a guinea pig. So she's freaking out. She said, get the cats, get the guinea pig. And they did. They were in and out. Mm-hmm. But they did a number on the house, too.
How bad was that? Was the house totaled?
So the house was built from block. It's an old cracker house.
All right.
So the walls wouldn't burn. Just the roof would burn. So it didn't completely burn down. Just the attic pretty much burned. Like the trusses in the roof and stuff aren't structurally sound anymore. But we probably wouldn't have any pets if it was framed out of wood.
Yeah.
It went up the side where the block is, up the side of the block into the soffit, into the roof.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then the whole thing, just the whole top. I have video. It's actually on the news.
Wow.
Yeah, I did a story. I've been popular lately.
From the news to the podcast.
Yeah, the news to the podcast. I wonder what's next. Maybe I'll get a little role in a movie or something.
On the Next Stop Hollywood, right?
Yeah, right.
Hey, we never know what God has in store for us.
Yeah.
It's so. How have you made it through that? Like what have you? What's the process to make it through something like that?
It strikingly resembles first day one again.
Yeah.
To this day, I still don't forget. I said earlier, I don't forget that moment in the jail when I looked at myself and said, this is real. Like, this is what an alcoholic looks like. That's verbatim.
Yeah.
This is what an alcoholic looks like. This is the kind of shit that happens. But living in this illusion, when I came out, it wasn't one day at a time. It wasn't an hour at a time, man. It was 5 minutes at a time. I would just not be alone. I wouldn't even really think too much on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of why it pissed me off so much, because it's like, I can't do anything. I'm always being told what to do or to watch or what to think. It's like, fuck, dude, where's my independence at? You know, but
Yeah.
so now it's kind of, it's a little different, but it's the same guts in a sense. It's like, don't think too much. You know, stay close to people,
Yeah.
because I'm liable to do something stupid.
Yeah.
You know, especially the circumstance. Between the funeral and the house fire. I mean, most people. I don't want to say most people, but those are good reasons to drink. They're great reasons.
They're great excuses. And like death is like that one that's like that ultimate like play. Like that seems to be the one that's like, it's all right. What are you gonna do? But fire, that's huge. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just possessions.
Yeah. Well, the pets and
Yeah.
pets.
No
House. Life. I'm sober and I'm homeless, dude. It sucks.
Oh man. So are you making it through? You're doing all right?
We're doing all right. People come out of the woodwork, man. It's an amazing town we have here.
Yeah.
It really is, and people just help. You know, we get Amazon packages from unknown names, just like blankets and packs of deodorant and towels and you name it. It's all come.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, God came through for us for sure.
Yeah, it's and I know you had a GoFundMe set up.
Yeah, we did.
For that.
It's still out there, but it's kind of fallen to the bottom of the page.
Okay. Do you know the address to the GoFundMe?
I can get you a link.
Give me a link?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Yeah, give me a link.
Cool.
And how are you? So, how have the people in the fellowship been to you? Like,
I don't really bring it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're supportive, but there's also people, because it's overwhelming. It's kind of like even with the death thing. It's like everybody says I'm sorry, but when you call them a week later, nobody answers the phone. You know, my mother's going through that. She's like, all these people said they'll help me and they don't answer the phone. I'm like, I can't have that. So,
yeah.
You know, I just kind of keep with the core group, sponsor, a few friends, people that are around, great. But,
yeah,
you know, I'm trying to be more, pick up that phone. It weighs 10,000 pounds, but,
yeah.
You know, I wanted to touch on one thing too. It was, back before December, back before he died, he was not doing too well, my stepdad. So my girlfriend actually suggested that we take a trip up there. And this is good. This is like the gift of recovery, if I can explain it correctly.
By all means, explain it.
Yeah. So she suggested that we go see him before anything would have happened, because she's wise like that. I don't know. She's Cuban, so I don't know if that makes anything. We got some kind of voodoo going on. But I was like, you know what? You're right. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So she got the tickets. I got the time off. She had the time off. We went up there for 8 days, I think. And my stepdad, in his deathbed, got to see me do the whole family thing sober. Like, we went to the hospital, picked him up, brought him home, and palliative care came and all that. But we got to just hang out back on the porch, which is like his favorite spot to be, and just talk. Like, sober, no drama going on, at least as far as he knew, because DUI isn't much. And even they understood. They were like, that'd be great if you go up there to see him.
Yeah.
I had to take a blow device with me and blow on it every 3 hours or 4 hours. But
yeah,
the miracle of it was he got to see how we live, see how I live now.
That's beautiful.
And that was the miracle of it. And the whole amends thing, I was really torn on do I go and make direct amends, or is it okay if I just kind of make a living amends? Because, I'm sorry about all the shit I did,
Yeah.
Me and him used to go at it, man. Back when I was back in the beginning, we got in the front yard fighting over, why'd you park your truck in the yard? I know you're drunk. It's like, God. No, I'm not drunk. I'll fuck you up. That kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So the brightest moments, too.
So wait, so you got to make amends with him before he passed?
Yes.
That's beautiful.
That was, it was one of the bigger things in sobriety. You know, I just got my first. No, it wasn't. Right, coming up to the year. The day I got back was the year. So I got to come back from that and pick up a year. But you know, there's things that you can't put a price on. You can't put much anything on other than what they are.
You can't put a price on that.
You know.
So he got to see you at a year sober, or right at the year mark, right before he passed.
Yep. And the whole trust thing was coming back, and you know, he just gets to see me at peace, I guess, or at least having a solution. I don't know about peace, but I'm not peace. I don't know, man. I don't know a lot about what's going on. I'm just trying to, like I said, you know, this fire thing happened, so it's got me all discombobulated, but
yeah,
I'm still here.
That's good. I'm glad that you're still here because, you know, like, there's only one Julian. You know, I mean, there's other guys out there named Julian, but it's often imitated, never duplicated.
True,
right?
true.
You know, that's a beautiful story about you and your father.
Stepfather.
That's powerful. Yeah, that's very powerful. That's so when you left and came back to get your year, what was going through your head after all of that?
Oh, it was surreal. I was just happy that we had like made it back physically, but I made it to a year.
Yeah.
I made some sort of amends because, you know, my mother stayed really strong in the miraculous healing. She was just praying every day for, you know, him to just wake up, not sick, but
Yeah.
that didn't happen. But, you know, in the program, it's kind of irrelevant, so to speak. It's like once you make your amends, once you move forward, if they live or die, it's not really up to us anymore. It's kind of out of our hands. You know, I just did what I could do at that time.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, you know, I just didn't know the right way to do it. That's why I didn't do the direct, but just being present in that moment, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he knew a little, he was a smart guy. He knew about AA. He just didn't have the problem.
Yeah.
You know.
That's amazing, Julian, and that's a really powerful share. That is. What are you most grateful for today?
Oh, grateful today. It's a nice day. But you know, things are moving forward. Me and her have looked for another house. We applied. It's actually in Gulfgate.
Oh, okay.
It's away from the bars. But you know, it's a bigger house. It's a little bit bigger, but it's a good home.
Yeah.
You know, we won't have a neighbor 10 feet away from us.
There you go. All right, so we'll pick it up from here. I'll edit this. So what were we talking about then? Today's good.
Today's good. The sun's out. There's a dog over there.
There's a dog over there.
Oh, I'm sure there's somebody.
So you applied for a house in Gulfgate.
Yeah, there's a lady walking her cat, too.
Yeah, there is a lady walking there. You know
Where'd
what?
she go?
We're just going to pick it up. I'm not going to edit any of this out. It's just going to be like, yes, the batteries died because we're remote here at the park. But it's funny. God writes the best scripts. It's
amazing.
So yeah, the lady walking the cat. Is that cat still around here? Oh, I don't see it. Yeah.
I don't know. That's some fancy cat, though.
So-
Blue eyes and all. But anyways.
So you applied for a house in Gulfgate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just waiting to hear back on it. You know, things are moving forward. We raised enough money. We didn't get rich over it, but we raised enough money to get into the house.
That's so wow, that's great.
We're going to have to, you know, we have to start fresh to buy all new stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of stuff sent to us, and towels and soap and all that shit. So
So you guys need all new furniture?
the house was furnished. So all of her furniture, because I don't have any, because you know where I come from.
Yeah.
All of her furniture's in the storage unit up near the airport.
Okay.
So we'll have like a bed and basic stuff. We both have jobs. You know, we
Good.
can buy a couch and a TV. You know, we can make it happen.
All right.
You know, we're not helpless, and you know, that's again part of not being an active alcoholic, is I can worry about other things other than myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess that's wrong.
No,
Be responsible,
yeah.
If I need a toothbrush, I go buy a toothbrush. I don't say, oh, I can't, I don't have a toothbrush. I don't know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Woe is me.
Yeah, I spent all my money on beer.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need a caretaker.
Isn't it amazing how much money you have once you quit giving it to the bar and to the dope man or to whoever?
Yeah.
It,
I didn't realize that the bank account didn't always start at zero. Like I thought every week it was just they would clean it out for me.
Yeah.
But actually if there's money in there and you put more in, it stays there. It's a miracle.
Really? Is that how that works?
I think so.
Yeah, that's news to me.
Yeah, unless you got one of them silicone bank accounts or something.
Yeah. No, it's that's building a bank account is a good thing. It's but what you're talking about making it through like life just in general and not having to pick up through it, like that's powerful. It's sounds like from a guy that always used to pick up just because the sun came up.
Yeah, every day that ends in Y.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's so. To the person just coming in the program, the person that, or let's put it this way: the person getting sober, the newcomer.
This is good.
Yeah. The person that's maybe thinking about it or just maybe got a little bit of time. What do you got to say to the newcomer?
Try not to understand why as much as how. If that makes any sense. So because for me, at least, trying to understand why I had the urge to drink so much or so often or what you have it, just try to understand, how it's affecting me and what it's bringing me to.
Yeah.
'Cause there's a million reasons people drink. There's a million reasons people become alcoholics, but there's only one way that they figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
Actually, there's 12.
Yeah.
It's broken down into the book right there.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, coming in, it's not easy.
No.
It's the hardest thing I've ever done, and I've been through some shit recently.
Well, it's it doesn't say like skip. Hold on, let me not slaughter this here. Can I? Page 164. Are you familiar with it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The last paragraph: abandon yourself to God as you understand God. Admit your faults to Him and your fellows. Clear away the wreckage of your past. Give freely what you find and join us. We shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit. Sorry, now my phone's ringing.
Oh, I put mine on silent.
Yeah. Guess what? I'm the guy that did. So, we shall be with you in the fellowship of the Spirit. You will surely meet some of us as you trudge the road of happy destiny. May God bless you and keep you to the end. But that word trudge, it's like it's not all days like this.
Right. Sometimes it's a hurricane.
Yeah. The most amazing part is though that you're here, you're alive today.
It's a brand new day, man. And I got some time, and that just shows that I can do today just like I did yesterday and the day and the weeks before.
Yeah.
Especially people coming in, I understand more than anybody, or a lot of people, that I'm not a one-chip wonder, man. I got enough. They're gone now. They got burned, but I had enough chips to tile the bathroom floor. I shit you not. They would buy more for me.
Give them back.
Well,
yeah.
I can't now, but
yeah. Maybe that was good. Maybe that was God saying, "Leave the past behind." Oh.
Yeah. Moving forward.
Yeah. Oh,
and I'm okay with that. That's the thing. I had to learn to be okay with a lot of things. And I think that might have been something that I learned from my stepdad, just watching him go through what he went through. Just because, he had no control.
Yeah.
Over what was going to happen to him. And I have very little control, but I can control one thing. And that's, my next action, not my next thought.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only control that a little bit today because of AA.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll tell you, I think about drinking sometimes. I thought about drinking when my house was burning in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, how would this feel any better? Oh, I could go down to the store and just get a beer. It'll make it all better. Of course it will. Then we can start the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
Start fresh.
I noticed it never made it any better. The problems are still there the next day.
It'll still be there. It'll still be burnt tomorrow. You know, I just won't be laying in the yard. That's the only difference.
There's the thought of drinking. It's not saying the thought doesn't come up, but it's what are we gonna do about it?
Well, it's like I don't know. I heard this from Ted. He said,
well, this ought to be good. Let it
right?
rip. Ted, if you're listening, which you probably might be, here we go.
He said to me once, he said, there's 2 frogs on a log. One thinks about jumping. How many frogs are still on the log?
Ted and his words of wisdom.
Oh, the words of wisdom, man.
Yeah. Well, Julian, it's been a pleasure to sit down with you today here on this bright sunny day with all the heat and, and everything going on around us, man.
Oh, it's awesome, man. I love watching. Look how much fun. Oh, yeah. I was sitting here thinking before you came walking over. I was like, look how much fun they're having over there.
Yeah.
What would it take for me to be that happy over something as simple as a water jet? You know what I mean? And I want to get back to that point. Like, I hope. Did you see the guys in sobriety or in the meetings? They're so happy. And I'm like, fuck. Be miserable. Like, be a little bit more miserable. There's no way this is real, but.
Join me on the dark side.
Yeah. But I've had glimpses of that, and I just want to get back to that, and I will.
Well, I mean, if you look at these kids, like playing, it's just like, they may not always be happy. And they may not always be joyous, but right now in that water, they're free.
Just exploring.
Yeah, it's...
Put your foot on this one, watch the other one go higher,
Yeah, all right. Oh, look, a bubble.
A bubble. I don't know what it is with the bubbles.
Well, brother, it's been a good time sitting down with you today, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your day and out of everything that's going on to sit down and talk. And yeah, it took a while to schedule this. It did.
I've been wiggly, but I wanted to do this to pay it forward, I guess. Give to others, and I don't know who the hell would want to listen to me, but maybe if I can just help change one person to get them through that day to where they get to that point where they're ready, then it's worth it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You never know who you're going to help when or how. It's kind of like, I was told, my dad said, he's like, we don't get to ever decide that, right? But it's kind of like the thing about all the times that maybe somebody said something in a meeting that really impacted you. It's like you weren't going in to expect to hear that or,
Well, there was that too. I'll share on this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the 7 o'clock beginners meeting at the Church of the Palms?
Yeah.
For about 6 months straight, I would go there. And we'd be talking in the car about something recovery related. Like, forgiveness or one, it could be anything. And then we sit there and the chairperson would be like, okay, the topic today is going to be forgiveness or whatever we were talking about. And I'm like, there's got to be something bigger here.
There just might be.
Just might be.
Yeah, it's wow.
She'll attest to this too, because it almost freaked us out.
Yeah, those moments are crazy, right?
It's like, oh, I can't find a job. I might just go drink. Like getting that case going on in my head, like making it 10 times worse. And then it'd be like, you don't need to drink if you lose your job. You don't need to drink. All you need to do is park your ass in the chair. And it's like, of course. I could start playing with it too. I'll think like, well, if there's a hill and I go to the top of it and I get struck by lightning, they'll be like, don't go to the hill and get struck by lightning because then you can't drink. I can't get ahead.
Yeah. It's wild when those little God shots come up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
They crop up out of nowhere.
Well,
it's amazing.
It is. You know what else is amazing? The recovery band. They're going to take us out.
All right.
Ready?
Let's hear it.
What is it? The band of drunks, as you call them.
Band of drunks.
Band of drunks. Kick it, boys. You got some Barry White going on in that. Oh, yeah.
I got to get a little... I was looking at a bass today. I was thinking about
yeah.
A little acoustic guy. Boom, 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 boom.
Well, if you're going to play the bass, then you need your studio audience.
All right.
All right.
It's been a pleasure, Mark.
It's been a pleasure too, Julian. Thank you so much for your service and sharing today and for putting your story out there. So, yeah. All right. Goodbye, everyone, and be well.